every new level is a different devil. And if you're not moving up levels, that's fine. But this podcast is for people who want to continue moving up levels, who always want a challenge, who always want to do more. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the podcast. Welcome to our new listeners, and welcome back to anybody who's back on the show before. Little housekeeping. Hope life is going well on your end. I am coming off a massively great last 2 weeks, and I wanted to share a couple things. One, my wife always gives me a hard time when I say this. I read 4 books. However, she says you didn't read them, you listened to them. I think that's unfair of her. But anyways, I read 4 books, or I listened to 4 books, and my current goal, and this is always going to change, and I always share this with the teams to help me keep my eyes on the prize. My current goal is to finish 1 book a week. I know I can do that. And there's a lot of tools in this podcast that I'm going to give you to improve your personal and professional growth. But I just finished 4 books, and I am chipping away at the next one already. And if you guys are interested in like which ones, let me know. They're all very different. Some are on like parenting, some are on financial improvement, some are on personal development, some are on time management, some are on coaching and leadership, and they're just going to vary. And it's honestly based on the author. But anyways, next, let's see what else I have going on. I am preparing for a team cut soon, meaning we as a team are going to go through a cutting preparation in terms of weight loss. We are going to enjoy some calorie deficit soon, so I'm excited for the challenge. I'll explain more down the line as we get closer to May. My kids are in sports, outside, outdoors, and getting some fresh air and some calories burned and some of that energy going. They're in Taekwondo. I used to say Taekwondo, and somebody corrected me. It's Taekwondo. Okay, sounds good. And soccer. So I'm excited for that. They're growing in that sense. And this one, this is an update. I updated my half hour by half hour schedule. Why is that so important? It relates to this podcast, and I am fired up because I had 3 different conversations this week with team members here at Sports Performance, and one conversation with a client this morning. So whenever I have themes like that, that's how I come up with these podcasts. It's what are the challenges that my team is having? What trends do I see? What challenges am I having? And what are my clients having? And a lot of times they just come together. So the conversation today is I don't have time. I hear this all the time, both from myself, right? Like I'm guilty of it, my team, leadership in the team, clients that I see, friends, family. I don't have time. All right, so the title, I don't have time, learning how to balance work, exercise, and life. So as a professional, whether you're a student, you're a new grad, you're a veteran, you're a long way, it doesn't matter. We all have the same problems. We're all humans. Okay, we are all humans, and no matter how much money you have, you've heard me say this before. No matter how much money you have, we are all uh, time poor or time wealthy. Each one of us, no matter who we are, you're listening to this or you're watching this, we all have the same time, the same 24 hours. I forget what the calculation of how many minutes, but anyway, same 24 hours, no matter who you are. And how we use those 24 hours is what separates successful professionals and those who want to move forward. Now, if you don't have a problem with time management, great. And I will say that you will as you grow in life, and that's good problems to have. And I've said this on other podcasts, but every new level is a different devil. And if you're not moving up levels, that's fine. But this podcast is for people who want to continue moving up levels, who always want a challenge, who always want to do more. And it doesn't mean, they want to work more. It just means that they want to accomplish more. And if you want to accomplish more, that means that you have the same 24 hours, but now you have to do things differently to accomplish more within the same given time slot. So this podcast specifically it fired me up. Yesterday, I had a 90-day review with a team member, and our 90-day reviews are great because they're more of a performance check-in and versus a review, and that's the best way I like to explain it to the team. In that, you as a professional, I understand you're going to grow. You're going to have different phases of life, and I just want to help support that, and I want to keep pushing to accomplish more. And that doesn't mean necessarily always professional. It actually most of the time is personal, because the most of the time the reason why you're having challenges professionally is because you have like things behind the scenes. And so what I like to work on and help people work on is trying to find solutions. And we said this recently in a team meeting. There's a difference between excuses and reasons. Excuses are the actual verbiage that you provide to justify what just happened. But the reason is at the core root. And when people say I don't have time, there's a lot behind that. Okay. So I don't have time. All right. So this person who mentioned this at their performance review, I really appreciated that they're making an effort to improve their quality time with their partner, their life, their parents, their school, whatever it was in fitness. In order for this to happen, in order for you to balance all these things, as you grow professionally, you're going to take on more. But you only have the same amount of time, so you got to get better, you get more efficient. But I'm going to say this, and here's one thing that if you take one thing away, this is really important to this podcast. What is the difference between time management and choice management? They are essentially the same thing. However, choice management is the real reason why you can't get things done. We all have the same time. We just choose to do different things with that time. So you don't have a time management problem, you have a choice management problem. It's your choices. Should I sit and play on my phone for 10 minutes? But it's not 10 minutes. It's 5 minutes here, 8 minutes here, 20 minutes here. What felt like 10, you can look at your phone and actually look at your data. And when you say like, oh, I'm only on the phone for 20 minutes a day, it's actually 3 hours. Screen time is 10, whatever that number is. So the problem is that no one brings this to light. You just refuse to take a look at it. Why? Because it's easier to not solve problems. And so when you get out of school or you're in school, I mean, you find these challenges even in school. If you're a student, great, good for you. You're finding this. You thought undergrad was tough. Now you're in, doctorate program, master's program, whatever you're in. Now you definitely come into choice management. Do you sleep an extra hour? Do you go out with friends an extra hour? Do you sleep a little bit more? Do you study 2 more hours? Do you skip your lunch? I mean, these are all choice management. It's not time management. We all have the same time. It's choice management. And you need to understand that that's your problem, nobody else's. And as you grow, you're eventually going to have to improve your choice management. If you don't, you're going to get stuck. Things will always fall by the wayside. Someone's going to pay the price, whether that's your partner, whether that's your job, whether that's your hobbies, and even worse, your fitness and your exercise. And when people start losing time for fitness and exercise, that's when everything dwindles. And I think some of you are shaking your head. If you've lost time to exercise, life is bad. Life is really bad. You actually prioritized work, you prioritized other people, you prioritized social media instead of working out and taking care of yourself. And that's when people start feeling bad. And here's the cascade of events. And this is a conversation I had with a client this morning. They said, because of the pandemic, a lot of people have been challenged with how, if you have kids, and school age kids, is a tough time to exercise because now you're home with them and you got to figure out how you're going to do this. In the conversation I had somebody, they own a business and they have kids who are studying from school. And they felt like they're always on, phone, emails, calls, whatever it is. And then they have kids at school, so doubling that up, it's really hard to exercise. Well, and and I completely understand. I went through the whole scenario. I heard everything that this person had to say, and I think in the end, I asked respectfully, what about these time slots? And I'm a parent. I understand that we have got a great team. We're a growing team of, I think, 12 team members here at Sports Performance, and we are still trying to find time to exercise, both my wife and I, and take our kids to taekwondo and soccer and school and life and everything else. And we're always going to ebb and flow in terms of organization and motivation. Now, this is just a little kick in the pants for those of you who need it at the moment. I don't have time. No, no, no. You have time. You're choosing to do other things with your time, and that's your fault. For some people, that's harsh. For other people, it's a reality check. And these are conversations that I do have with the team, and I have to ask, is that an excuse or a reason for why you're not exercising? Or what is that an excuse or reason why you're not documenting, or excuse or reason why you can't get certain things done? It's just choice management. We find ourselves, and I'm guilty of this myself, there's things to get done. And sometimes it's easier, more fun to talk to team members or people at work. And you're like, just a couple conversations, just a little bit here and there. And you get in a deep conversation, it turns into like 20 minutes. And that, 30 minutes break that you had, that somebody was late or no showed or whatever it was, that half hour is gone. And you're like, oh, I should have done my notes. And then you're like, end of the day, you're like, I'm not going to do my notes. You had time. That's your choice. And so when people say, hey, legitimately my schedule is full, I understand that. That's a tough balance. But when you get that one slot, you got to be able to recover and recoup. And so it's just choices. So knowing the difference between time management and choice management. So with this client, I asked them, what time slots can you make this work? And for some of you who have clients who have the same scenario, who are just very busy with work, maybe they work from home and they have kids who work or studying from school or from home, they have time, but very rarely do we call them out on it. And I think it's very healthy to ask very professionally, what hours would work? When can you do your exercises? How long is your lunch break? And I tell them, the team, this. People need three things in life: education, motivation, and information. That's motivation, education, and accountability. Education, motivation, and accountability. One more time. Education, motivation, accountability. We all need those. And at different stages, you're going to need that. And if you're looking for a new pair of shoes, you're probably trying to get educated on the quality of those shoes. If you're looking to start exercising again, you need the motivation or accountability. If somebody's coming to you for physical therapy, they're coming to you primarily for education. For some people, it's accountability. And as people go on, you'll know that they need help with all three. So when I have team members who are having challenges or clients having challenges with these things, I got to find out where the root is. So I politely will ask, hey, where's the challenge right now? I just don't have time. Okay, what about these time slots? Would this work? And I'm asking professionally, so that way I'm not pestering them. I'm just really trying to help. And that's an education thing they just don't realize, or they don't prioritize. So then that could be some motivation behind the scenes. It could also be just accountability, like, all right, I'll try it, and then next visit, can you remind me? Sounds good. But at least we got to the root of it. And that's why, if you ask me why people enjoy sessions at Sports Performance or even sessions on my table, it's just having those nice professional conversations, because at least it's understood. No one's playing the game of, uh, is this even going to work? Are you going to do your stuff? Or else I'm going to complain behind the scenes that you're doing your stuff. You're going to be like, that person didn't help me. And it's a two-way relationship that didn't work out. Or somebody just says, hey, let's try this. Have you tried this? Haven't? Why not? I think you can. This is on you. It's your responsibility. And if they decide that ultimately that's not something they want to do, then that's fine. They're just in a different time point in life. So on this client, I asked, hey, why don't you try 5 a.m.? I said, not happening. Not going to go. All right. 12 o'clock, lunch hour? That's like, getting stuff lunch ready to pick up the kids. Okay. Before dinner? Because it can't be after dinner. Everyone's going to 80% of the people are going to sit down on the couch or go to sleep after dinner. So what about before dinner? Uh, that's a little tougher. Okay, at some point, you got to move things around. And that's when it clicked for her. She said, I need to look at my schedule and restructure my schedule around exercise. And I was like, there it is. That's choice management. That's not time management. That's choice management. Now you're saying, I am now going to look at these 40 hours or 80 hours, and I'm going to allocate the times around the better choice. So when you prioritize fitness and nutrition and health first, or finance for whatever your priorities for the month or the quarter is, whether it's finances or whatever, professional career. So for this person, it's nutrition and health and fitness. When you prioritize that, everything works around that. Now they change their drop-off time with their kids. Now they turn off their phone. They don't look at emails. That's not time management. That's 100% choice management. It was the same time. So you need to, one, make the right choice. My second tip is people laugh at me. I created a half hour by half hour schedule for myself. Wake up at 4:45 and start my day with professional development, read a book, do all these things behind the scenes, have some great coffee, and come to work with a plan, motivated. I've got everything I need to do for the day. Here's my outline, and I just crush it. Now, there's always going to be things that are just going to be separating that. But if I allocated my time appropriately, that gave me the right steps to have a successful day. And there's always goals being set in the morning, and did I accomplish them at the end of the day? And for some people, like one of my goals is, did I get a certain amount of steps in? Sounds good. I'd love 10,000. I'll have to get better at that. But did I get my 1 hour of exercise in? And that could be in the form of a walk, a brisk walk, some type of fitness. I need that to get done. And professionally, did my family-wise, did my kids get homework to get done? Professionally, is the team taken care of? Is everyone successful? And so there's different goals that I have to have. And in order for you to be successful, if you don't even know what a week looks like, you're like just going, willy-nilly, and every single week you're just doing something different, you're going with the flow, so will your professional career. If that's the way you treat your schedule in your life, then that's the way you're going to grow. And there's something wrong with that. But if you're listening to this podcast, you're not like that, or you don't want to be like that. And that is the truth. And the people around me will laugh, but it's what makes people successful. And if you're really trying to grow in the sports physical therapy realm, or physical therapy in general, and you want to grow, and you know that you want clients and patients to be excited about your schedule, excited about who you are, that means there's so much work that goes into it. The prep work, knowing who's coming in, creating programs ahead of time, remembering them, looking at your notes ahead of time, not just because you want to take their measurements and get your metrics done, but because you actually care. And if you come in that you woke up late because you stayed out late, and you couldn't get your notes done, because you talked during lunch and you wanted to hang out with coworkers instead of getting your job done, and now you're backed up for notes for 5 days. It's not that you didn't have time. You failed to go to sleep on time. You failed to wake up to go work out. You failed to allocate enough time to go to work. You failed to prioritize your time and be strict with your time and firm and do your notes during lunch so you can enjoy the rest of your day. It's just this bundle effect. It's a cascade of events. And I help the team and other people try and navigate these things. It's not that you don't have time. Like, where's the reason behind your excuse? Well, the reason is, if you can structure your workouts and this is the time, nothing happens, whether that's notes, text messages, emails, drama, life, car, whatever it is, take an Uber. I don't care. Go to the gym. Take care of that. Eat. What's your macros for the week? What's your program for the month? What are your goals? If you have none of this, if you have zero goals, zero weekly schedule, zero accountability, guess what? Unsuccessful. You have no plans. whatsoever. There's no structure, no outline, and that's okay. Now, what if, I mean, if you have zero plans and zero structure, what if you were to try and run a marathon? Let's do this. That's like not wearing a watch and knowing your pace or your distance when you're training for a marathon. What if you said, hey, I'm going to run a marathon in 3 months and I'm just going to run every day? Well, how far? I don't know. At what pace? I don't know. Uh, do you know if you're going to be able to complete it? I'm just going to run. Well, how do you know when 26 or 22 or 18 miles is? I don't know. I'm just going to try and guess it. How successful are you going to be? And that's what happens when you don't allocate and structure your time. And for some of you, this is a little top heavy and deep, but you need it. And as you grow professionally, this is the same talks I provide to the team in that if you want to be successful, this is what you have to do. And this is what brings you to that time point. I remember being in professional sports, and it's a time intensive position. There's always something, always, and you eventually have to figure out how to prioritize or triage, and that's very much choice management. Triaging is very similar to choice management. What's the top priority and what can wait? And I feel like, when you're working in a very demanding position, a lot of times your personal life falls at the wayside and you prioritize work. And I think that's good for a little while. I think that you got to push the limit. You got to, I call it build a threshold, develop some thick skin and develop you as a person. But at some point, you also have to work smarter and figure out time allocation and what can work and what cannot. I think early on in your career, you hustle, you do hard work, and then you figure out how to make better choices. And you figure out, okay, I can move this, I can do this, but you got to be good. You got to be good about your time on the back end. So choice management is number one. You have to build out your week schedule and what you're going to hold yourself accountable to. And you can't just say that you're going to run a marathon without knowing an exact plan, progressions, mileage, and a watch. Where's your dial? Where's your watch? Easy way to see it. Try running 5 miles at an 8 mile pace with no watch. That's what you're doing when you have no choice management, you don't have a schedule, and you still find yourself overwhelmed by the amount of things that need to happen. And I see this a lot of times with new graduates or new PTs or even established ones who are getting a little comfortable. You just lose prioritizing. You think you got it. This worked in my internship where it's worked for the last 5 years. Why is it not working now? And I want you to listen to this quote. It's very important. What got you there won't keep you there. What got you there won't keep you there. And what that means is the time management and the choice management you had before going in from undergrad, going into PT school, that only took you so far. And then you had to get better and develop a better habit. And then when you go from PT school to treating professionally, and now you have responsibility, now people are literally dependent on you on getting better, you actually have to have better choice management. You have to upgrade that. And so if you use the same choice management, time management from undergrad getting into PT school, you wouldn't be successful. If you did the same thing for PT school going into professional treatment, that's not going to work and you're not going to be successful. Now here's the trouble. Most people try and use those same techniques from PT school into treating as a clinician in a clinic, and then here's the next thing: no one challenges you from when you're working and treating, and you're 1 year out, 2 years out. You no longer have accountability. No one's helping you. No one's pushing you, and so you know what happens? Chaos. Now it's up to you to figure it all out. And we know when it's all up to you, we know what happens. You'll do great for a while, but then you're human. You're human. You will fall off. And if you're telling me, no, I won't, that's a tough story. Even I do. And you need people to help kick you in the pants, give you support, push you in the right direction. So my first tip was you got to figure out, get better at choice management. Number two, you need to build a weekly schedule for yourself to keep yourself accountable Where's your watch? Where's your accountability to run that mile or that marathon? Um, and then lastly, you have to get better at actually having somebody there accountable, keeping you accountable, getting you on the right track and keeping you there. And if you have the right choice management and you've got a weekly schedule and you have accountability, you got a former team member used this term, and I'm gonna give him credit here, accountability buddy. Uh, you just need somebody there, and that can be your direct report, your manager, anyone in leadership in your company. It could be your partner. It could be a workout friend. It could be a coworker. But ultimately, that person needs to be there to keep you accountable. And if you don't, good luck. Because in 3 months, 6 months, 12 months, you'll fall right back down. It's like somebody trying to diet and maintain a good, healthy nutrition, and they struggle. We all do. And you might be really good with your nutrition. If you're listening, you're like, I don't need help with that. Sounds good. How about your finances? You gotta get rid of debt. Are you maximizing that? Well, no, I'm just really good at exercising. Sounds good. Everybody has their strengths. Some people are not great at exercising. Some people are not great at managing finances. Some people are not good about managing their time. Some people are not good about managing their partnership or their personal life. Everyone has their difficulties or struggles. And guess what? Once you get good at them, other things will start to drop. It's very hard to maintain them all high unless you have a great team around you, just motivated people who just are always there to keep you on a high. And this is about time. This podcast is about time. And all these things go into managing time. And we're all going to struggle with them. The third one part I wanted to say was if you have good people around you who help you keep you accountable, if you're getting better at choice management, now you recognize it. At least it's a first step. It's not that you just didn't have good time management. You were choosing. It's your fault. You were choosing to do the things that you didn't need to. Number two, that you actually build out a schedule to know what to expect in a week. And it could be just lay out your exercise routine, the time, your work schedule, 8 to 5, 8 to 6, 7 to 4, whatever your time slots are. And then from there, what's happening in the morning? You working out in the afternoon? What time are you having dinner? What time are you actually trying to go to sleep? If you want to go sleep at 9, what happens? What happens? What needs to happen before that? If you want to sleep by 11, what needs to happen? What time is dinner? What time is it? And if you're not doing any of these things, you're going to be exhausted. There's no plan. You go to sleep late. You're on your phone. You wake up late. You come to work late. And it's just this trickle effect. Why'd you show up late? Oh, because my alarm didn't go off. No. What didn't happen is that you didn't go to sleep on time, which means you didn't have dinner on time, which means that you didn't exercise on time. You didn't get to work out. You didn't get out of work on time because it just keeps snowballing. So have somebody there to be like, all right, this month or this week, this is what we're doing, and this is what we do with our teams. If you follow me on Instagram, Chris Garcia DPT, uh, if you follow me on Instagram, uh, or even our team at Sports Performance PT, you'll see every week we have weekly meetings. All right, this week here's our goal. Everybody, what are we talking about? What's the weekly accountability? Well, I'm working out more. I'm cooking more. I'm counting my macros. I'm doing programming, whatever it is, and that's great because everybody's working on something. You have to. Like, you're human, you're gonna fall off. And for most people, this last week was time. Always trying to find more time. So just look at my notes here. All right, know the difference between time management and choice management. Build out your weekly schedule. You need somebody to help you with accountability as you grow, because what got you there will not keep you there. The people around you who got you there will not always keep you there. So in order to make time, improve your choice management. And life is fluid. If you think that you need to be perfect all the time, good for you. Good luck. It's not going to work very well. I'm human myself, and I understand that there's always going to be ebb and flow of motivation, accountability, and education in all aspects. As you grow, you're going to want to start doing more things, and you start in buying a new car or investing in stocks, or you get on a kick where you want to cook more. And these are all new skills, right? And so you're always trying to learn more. So you're always seeking more education, which means that you have to be motivated to seek that out. But the problem is, I said there's three things that people need all the time: education, motivation, and accountability. We're always seeking education because we want to grow. That means that inherently you were motivated to seek out the education. But this whole thing about accountability, that's crazy. You always need it, but there's no one there to keep you accountable. So you got to find somebody, put somebody in that seat to help you out. And that's your partner. Help. Hey, I just need help real quick. This week I'm going to be working on my time management. I know we haven't been able to do this. Here's my goals. And that's the most beautiful thing on the planet. If you can come to realize that it's your fault and you need help, and we all do, and that's what it's about when you don't have time. So the title was I Don't Have Time, Learning to Balance Work, Exercise, and Life. Why don't you have time? Because you make the wrong choices, and it's up to you. So I hope that helps, and I hope it hits you at the right time. It's all from the discussions that we've had with clients and team members and life and my wife and my kids. And so what's coming up? What do we have? We have more team members coming on to Sports Performance next week. And I'm really excited about that. And we've got some things developing with some new programs coming out over the summer. I have some personal big news is coming out this summer, and I need to get some things finalized before I make final announcements. But just FYI on your end. All right, there you have it. I hope you enjoyed the podcast. I hope that you are enjoying life and you're safe and healthy and enjoying life and enjoying all this time you have available. Use it wisely. Manage those choices a little bit better. All right. See you guys on the next episode. Take care, guys.